Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, day 24 of the WarbossTae painting challenge, and I've been working on these bases. I've done a 6-hour painting session, and I have to say this was the worst painting session out of the whole lot so far. Yeah, caused me a few problems. Now, I think it's a combination of things, to be fair. I'm not feeling that great at the moment. I had some dental treatment, and my mouth is really tender and aching, and I'm constantly on painkillers at the moment, so that probably didn't help. But also the actual task itself, I think I just wasn't prepared for how much time it was going to take. I thought it would just take a few hours, just put down a few base, put down the base coat, but it was way more work than that, because on the test one that I did, painting this bleach bone colour over a black colour, it seemed to go on quite well, but when it came to painting on the actual models, I realised that I had to thin the paint down, because it was taking me forever just to basically spread the paint out over the sand. And obviously where the sand, even though it's PVA glued on, it sort of comes off a little bit, like a dusting comes off. So I had to paint quite delicately, and the paint was too thick, so I had to thin it down. So I ended up having to do 2 coats of paint. And it was also slowed down by a change of mind as well. So some of these bases, just to zoom in and show you, some of these bases here have like little rocks on, which I put on. Now my original idea was to paint these rocks in the same brown colour as on the armour, and as I'm planning on going with the green on the bases, I didn't think it would really match or suit. So originally I painted the bone colour around the rocks, and then after I'd done that I decided I want to paint the rocks the same colour as the sand, the green colour. So I went all the way back in and repainted the stones, so that didn't help. I also had another little issue on some of the witches. I'll try and zoom in, get them to focus in. I don't know if you can see this on the bases, but those witches there on the left, which were already based, they already had some sand on the base. The sand is much coarser than the sand which I used on those ones there. Now I knew it was coarser, but it was black as well, so it took me a long time basically to coat that. 2 or 3 layers, and trying to get the brush in all the gaps and stuff. So it was very time consuming basically, but I soldiered through it. As I said, it took me 6 hours, but eventually I went through all of the bases, and I managed to get this bone colour down on the base. So I'm happy, it's over. Surprising, isn't it? The hardest part of this is to base coat the bases. I wasn't expecting that, I must admit. But like I said, that is over, and I am ready for the fun part, which is going in, and I'm going to basically cover these bases in a green wash. And once that's dry, I'm then going to randomly splodge on some black wash, and then I will just do a nice little gentle highlight with the bone colour, the base colour, just by dry brushing it over the top of the stones basically. So that's the plan. Of course then I've got to go in and I've got to paint all of the rims. So all those rims will have to be painted black and cleaned up. So there's a surprising amount of work for the bases, and I think that's the other thing which took me by surprise really, because it doesn't look like that many models when you just look at them on the table here. There's actually 96, so there's 96 bases to paint, so it's quite a lot of bases. Anyway, right, let's move on to day 24 for the question. Not actually a question today. It just says, week 4, we're into the final stretch gang, keep up the great work. I think WarbossTae must have known that I was going to have trouble on this day, and he's gave me some words of encouragement, so thank you boss man for that, much appreciated. You know, these things happen. Sometimes the painting session doesn't go quite as easy or as well as you think. But I really wanted to get this coloured down and finished and ready for the wash. So I just stuck at it and just pushed through the pain. Anyway, there you go, all done. So tomorrow, as I said, fun part starts. Going to start washing these bases green. It's going to be fun. Thanks for watching.